Krishna Prabhu is here. One second. Dear devotees, Atul Krishna Prabhu is here. Hare Krishna.
Will anyone mind house?
Prabhuji, pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
If there are two phones or two connections nearby, then we can go.
Two connections. I also hear two voices.
Why is echoing? Why is sound repeating?
Or you can put it in here.
Possibly we'll have to operate from one system.
What I
If
speak?
two systems are close by, then it will echo.
Huh?
If we have two systems on nearby,
No.
then it will echo.
Speaker on.
One second.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Vivo 520, something like that.
If someone has a speaker on, then
Hare Krishna now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you
Yes, Prabhuji, better. Sounds better.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
check if they can hear this?
It was coming from Vivo, Prabhuji. That's why.
Yeah. Now stop.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Prabhuji.
No stop.
Please, if you want to call other devotees to join, please call, message them. Whenever possible, please request them to join.
Oh, maybe the camera's here. That's better. There's pillows.
What happened?
Pillows. They're showing up on the screen. This looks like something. Ouch.
So, shall we start?
Yes,
Devotees,
Prabhuji.
Yes. Meantime, just message other devotees also to join. So we have His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu, very senior devotees, more than 40 years in Krishna consciousness, and focusing on teaching. He is teaching in Mayapur and many other countries also. Of course, he was a teacher for us also in Abu Dhabi and many places. So we are very, very fortunate to have him. He just arrived, so just requested to join, so he kindly agreed. So we'll hear from him. He'll play nice music, bhajan, and hear from him. Hare Krishna.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi. Can you hear the instrument? See,
You are able to hear the instrument, the sound? Can
Prabhuji,
somebody
very-
unmute and
Very
No,
weak,
Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji.
go to settings. Go to settings and they can change the audio for instrument. If you go to settings,
one second.
is the best we'll get anyway.
Hare Krishna. Now able to hear?
Now we can hear.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri I don't think we need to worry.
No, I'm saying bring it closer.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivardhari, Jaya Girivardhari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Jaya Gopinana Vallabha, Jaya Girivardhari, Jaya Girivardhari. Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Jaya Jamuna Tidavanachare, Jaya Kunja Behare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Vishnu Pad Paramhamsa Poribrajaka Charja Shtotam Samsisamaja Abhaja Narvina Bhaktivedanta Swami Vishnu Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Pratishthata Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. The Srimad Bhagavatam, Prashadesha Prabhu was explaining to me that you are regularly studying the Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srila Prabhupada, in 1959, he had been writing Back to Godhead magazines. In 1956, Prabhupada, he published 12 editions of Back to Godhead in that 1 year. And in 1959, Prabhupada began writing books on the advice of a librarian and a retired army officer. And the first book that he wrote when he was residing in Chippiwada in Delhi, the first book he wrote was Easy Journey to Other Planets. And then Srila Prabhupada, he began translating Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, in 1959, 1960, and he was staying in Chippiwada in Delhi. And he took sannyas in 1959. And so then he was writing the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam as a new sannyasi, Bhaktivedanta Swami. And he was residing in Chippiwada in Delhi. And he also had residence in Bankshi Gopalji Temple in Vrindavan. And then in 1962, Prabhupada, he took up residence in Radha Damodar Temple in Vrindavan. And he carried on translating the first canto. In fact, It took him up to 1964, August, he was in Mumbai. And the first time he met with Sumati Maharaji in 1964, August. And at that time he requested her to sponsor the third volume of the first canto, and she agreed to do that. So Sumati Maharaji, she sponsored the third volume of the first canto, and then when Prabhupada had personally published the first, second and third volumes, which constitute the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which His Grace Prashadeshwar Prabhu mentioned to me that you have completed your studies of. Then he journeyed to the West, and he had with him 600 books. That was 200 volumes, 200 sets of the 3 volumes of the first canto, 200 sets. And he took the cargo ship Jaladudu to New York City, and there gradually he established ISKCON, and he was selling those books himself that he'd published. And those books you can see, for example, in ISKCON Vrindavan in Prabhupada's room. You'll find a set of the original Bhagavatam that Prabhupada published. In ISKCON Juhu, you'll find a set. In other places, in Melbourne and in other places, you'll see I think in Kolkata, first canto that was published by Prabhupada, published in Delhi. There's a few of those around. And then Prabhupada wrote the second canto after some time, actually. Upon arriving in the United States, Prabhupada began working on Bhagavad Gita as it is, and then the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and then Nectar Devotion, and then the Krishna book. So he wrote all of those books before beginning the second canto. The second canto Prabhupada began writing around about 1970 and carried on, and in this way, writing the Srimad Bhagavatam, ISKCON having become established. Of course, Prabhupada, that was his main service for that from 1959 to 1964. Prabhupada wasn't selling Back to Godhead magazines. He was writing, translating first canto Srimad Bhagavatam and getting it published volume by volume in Delhi. So in this way, Prabhupada he was focused one way or another. In his Grihastha life, he was working on the Back to Godhead magazines, and then he became a Vanaprastha in 1955, and then 1959 he took sannyas. And after taking sannyas, Prabhupada wasn't writing Back to Godhead magazines and publishing new editions. He was focused completely on translating Srimad Bhagavatam. And when he completed the first canto, and of course in addition to translating Bhagavatam, he also had it published, which meant he had to deal with the paper sellers and the printers. He went to several different printers. It was a great effort, took many years for him to complete that, the 3 volumes. Selling the first volume, he financed the second volume. Selling the second volume, he financed the third volume. And in this way, he went to the United States with the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam and began the International Society for Krishna Consciousness with his own published version of the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto. So these things are, and then subsequently when ISKCON became established, Prabhupada, he carried on every day writing the purports to the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the night time, he would rise at 1 a.m. and work till 4 a.m. 3-4 hours every day. He would be translating Srimad Bhagavatam into English. And in this way, you could say Srimad Bhagavatam is Srila Prabhupada's greatest literary work. And that you have come to a point in your lives where you were studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Emon dulab manav deho payaki kore bhavana keho. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that the human form of life is so important, so rare. Emon dulab manav deho payaki kore bhavana keho. And having achieved it, well, what is your consciousness? Most people, they're just absorbed in material existence and sense enjoyment. Payaki kore bhavana keho. What are you utilizing the human form of life for? So that you are attending the systematic, regular hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam and study as such. Certainly, this is the most important part of your life, because you're, by the hearing of the Srimad Bhagavatam alone, one can awaken love for Krishna, which is the whole purpose of human life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he summarized to Srila Sanatana Goswami Prabhupada in the Sanatana Shikha that there's 5 principal items of Bhagavad Bhakti. That is Sadhu Sanga Nam Kirtan Bhagavat Shravan Maturava Srimurti Rashadaya Shavan Sadhu Sangha, associating with devotees. Nam Kirtan, chanting the holy name. Bhagavad Shravan, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Mathura Vash, living in Mathura. Srimurtira Shataya Shevan, worshipping the deity. Shakal Shadon Shrestha E Pachanga. Of all the items of sadhana, these 5 are the most powerful. Krishna Prema Janamaya E Pacha Alpashanga. Because even a little performance of any of these 5 items can Krishna Prema Janmaya, it awakens love of Krishna. So the regular hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhu told me that you are almost daily hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is sufficient to actually awaken love of God. And if addition to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam was chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then Jivana Kalena Shadana Kam Jagati Ashi E Madhurnam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that Jivana Kalana, for the benefit of the living entities, Jivana Kalana Shadana Kam Jagate Ashi E Madhurnam. This sweet name, it enters into this world, material world. Jagate Ashi E Madhurnam. Nam Bina Kichu Nahiko Ado Joda Bhuvana Maje. Apart from the name Nam Bina Kichu Nahiko Ara, there is nothing to be attained. Choda Bhuvana Madhye, within the 14 worlds. It is the most valuable achievement. So if one is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting the holy name, then one can very quickly attain the perfection of life. And so I congratulate you for the regular hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we pray that the full depth of the Bhagavad Siddhanta become manifest in your heart. Vidya Bhakti Labho, Hare Krishna. So why don't you carry on with your, yeah, yeah, and I'll just carry on with my work here.
Okay. So, Hare Krishna devotee, just hold on. So, devotees, tomorrow morning, Prabhuji will be giving class 8 to 9. So, those who are nearby can join physically, others can join online. And those who can come for Mangalarati, please come, 5:30. Hare Krishna devotees. Sorry, I have to move back. Okay. One second, let me open. Sorry, I forgot which verse are we today.
25, Prabhu.
2925, huh?
2925.
Okay. Sorry, last Thursday I think I missed it. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamastoke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuromilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sloka, because we have a little time only, maybe.
Yeah, Kanchana Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Just read sloka. One second.
Hare Krishna's divine grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, 25. Brahmovacha Bhagavan Sarvabhutanam Adhyakshyo Vyavastito Griham Veda Hyapratiruddhena Prajnanena Chikirshitam. His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Lord Brahma said, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as the supreme director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by your superior intelligence without any hindrance whatsoever. Purport. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the witness, and as such he is the supreme director of sanction. The director is not the enjoyer of the fruit of action, for without Lord's sanction, no one can enjoy. For example, in a prohibited area, a habituated drunkard puts forward his application to the director of drinking, and the director, considering his case, sanctions only a certain amount of liquor for drinking. Similarly, the whole material world is full of many drunkards, in the sense that each and every one of the living entities has something in his mind to enjoy, and everyone desires the fulfillment of his desires very strongly. The Almighty Lord, being very kind to the living entity, as the Father is kind to the Son, fulfills the living entity's desire for his childish satisfaction. With such desires in mind, the living entity does not actually enjoy, but he serves the bodily whims unnecessarily without profit. The drunkard does not derive any profit out of drinking, but because he has become a servant of drinking habit and does not wish to get out of it, the merciful Lord gives him all facilities to fulfill such desires. The impersonalists recommend that one should become desireless, and others recommend banishing the desires altogether. That's impossible. No one can banish desires altogether because desiring is the living symptom. Without having desires, a living entity would be dead, which he is not. Therefore, living conditions and desire go together. Perfection of desires may be achieved when one desires to serve the Lord. Lord also desires that every living entity banish all personal desire and cooperate with his desires. That is the last instruction of Bhagavad Gita. Brahmaji agreed to this proposal, and therefore he is given the responsible post of creating generations in the vacant universe. Oneness with Lord therefore consists of dovetailing one's desires with the desires of the Supreme Lord. That makes for the perfection of all desires. The Lord as the supreme super soul in the heart of every living being knows what is in the mind of each living entity, and no one can do anything without the knowledge of the Lord within. By superior intelligence, the Lord gives everyone the chance to fulfill his desires to the fullest extent, and the resultant reaction is also awarded by the Lord. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
So further, Brahmaji saying, the personality God, you are situated in everybody's heart, every living entity's heart, smallest atom to the biggest, Brahmanda. And you are supreme director. Therefore, you are aware of all the endeavors by your superior intelligence. I may be thinking so many things, I may be desiring so many things, even slightest desire, he knows. I mean, slightest of my thinking, he knows. So that's why Brahmaji is confirming. Krishna also says, Sarvasya Saham Sannivisto. He says, I'm there, everybody's heart. So that is the first point we need to understand. I cannot cheat Krishna. I can cheat myself, I can cheat anybody else, or I can hide from anyone, but not Krishna. That is a fundamental, philosophy here. Next, Prabhupada says, Bhagavad Gita confirms that the Lord is situated. Yeah, so 15:15, he says that, so the director is not enjoyer of the fruits. So he is there, everybody, but he doesn't enjoy. Prabhupada always gives example of two birds in the tree. One bird is enjoying, other bird is watching. He's like a Paramatma watching. Atma is the enjoyer. That's the reason Atma is to suffer or enjoy. So Prabhupada gives a very nice example how a drunkard, goes to the government and request, yeah, give me something to drink because they cannot live without drinking. Then maybe government, the director department, they say, okay, you can drink, but limited quota, so that you don't disturb the society. Similarly, the jiva want to enjoy, that desire to enjoy. Krishna says, okay, you want to enjoy, you go to material world, you do this work, only this much. Otherwise, you will become too much. So that's a example given. So then Prabhupada says, as a father is kind to son, fulfills living entity's desire, child is for satisfaction. So like if a child comes and asks father, father, I want this, I want that, I want chocolate, I want ice cream, I want this. Father may give, which is suitable for child. The child is suffering from disease, father may say, sorry, you don't take it today, you have fever, you have jaundice, don't take this. So similarly, the toys which are harmful, father may not give. Similarly, Krishna will not give us which is harmful to us. He will give, sometime slowly what is required, but he will fulfill. So Prabhupada also gives impersonalist recommend that one should become desireless. So we cannot be desireless. So desire is part along with the jiva. So we cannot be desireless. You cannot be dull. It has to be active. So without having desire, the living entity would be dead, which is not. The jiva is not dead. Jiva is alive. We have desires. Only we have to divert, or Prabhupada said, dovetail of desire. I have desire to enjoy eating. So Prabhupada says, okay, you cook nice bhoga to the Lord, offer to the Lord, and then take prasad. So you will have the eating enjoyment also, and your Krishna prasad. So that's why whatever enjoyment you dovetail. For example, the human want to have a family life, so you cannot go, brahmacharya ashram. Okay, get married, have family life. So within that limit, within that restriction of one wife, one husband, you live and you have the material enjoyment, sensual enjoyment. At the same time, you practice Krishna consciousness. So that's the control. So Lord also desires that every living entity banish all personal desires and cooperate with his desire. So what is his desire? His desire is that we should all should go back to him. That is his desire. Sarvadharma Parityajya Mameka Shanvaja Aham Sarva Pape Vimoksha. So he says, give up everything and come to me. So that is his ultimate desire. So Prabhupada says we have to give up our personal desire and cooperate with his desire. his desire that we all should go. Every jiva, not only we, every jiva should go back. So we should work for it. That's exactly Prabhupada saying. We all should preach. We should conduct more and more programs, distribute more prasadam, so that more devotees or more people or more jiva go back to Krishna. Finally, Prabhupada says, Lord as a super soul in the heart of every living entity knows what is the mind of each living entity, and one can do anything without. One cannot do. One No one can do anything without the knowledge of the Lord. That is the ultimate. Even is we are saying, right? And even the blade of grass cannot move without Lord's sanction. So at the same time, the desire is done by the jiva. That's why suffering or enjoyment is done by jiva, not Lord. Okay, I'll stop here already. 34. Devotees want to share anything, please unmute yourself, share. We can maybe Asha Mataji want to start.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. We have so fortunate to have Prabhuji. So somehow we got him. Yeah. Next, who else? Mariappan Prabhu want to say anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavatsana. Thanks for the
Prabhuji.
wonderful class
No, Dr.
and appreciation of Prabhuji.
Yes,
Supreme
Chris,
Lord
Atul Krishna Prabhu.
Supreme Lord is situated in the hearts of every living entity. No one can beat Krishna. Paramatma is witness for all activities of Jivatma. So, and like a father, Krishna fulfill all the desires of living entities subject to applicability. Here, as an example, you have highlighted the prasadam. One must convert the desires involving Supreme Lord so that the living entities will not make mistakes. Preaching is emphasized so that all fellow human beings can be involved in Krishna consciousness. That much I have understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Lakshmi Mataji, anything on that?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Lakshmi Mataji.
Yes, same
Mataji.
what Prabhuji said, same thing. God is situated in every entity's heart. God knows everything, what we think and we desire. Since the Jiva wants to enjoy, God fulfills his right desire. Desire is a part along with Jiva. We have to dovetail our desires towards serving Krishna and go back to Krishna, which is Krishna's desire. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kanchana Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The text features Supreme Lord Krishna playing a very divine role. He's the indweller of every heart. He knows all material existence. He does not create sense of doership or actions. These are the product of nature. It is revealed in Bhagavad Gita 5.14. And Krishna acts as a neutral overseer and witness within the physical body. That is also revealed in Bhagavad Gita 13.23. The text describes the nature of desire. Desires can dominate individuals, illustrated by drunkards' plea for liquor. Genuine enjoyment is absent despite fleeting fulfillment. Desires bind to physical cravings and are linked to existence. The text reveals the path to fulfillment. Perfection of desire comes from serving the Lord. That is also given in Bhagavad Gita 18.46. The Lord desires beings to renounce personal desires and align with His will. Work as worship sees tasks as sacred offerings, while purification of desire transforms desire into selfless love for devotional service. Lord Krishna's final instruction to Arjuna, Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja, Aham tvam sarva papipyo moksha ishami ma shuchaha. Do not fear, he says. Surrender all your, abandon all desires and surrender to the Supreme. That will, then you will attain liberation from karmic consequences and there will be fearlessness. Then the significance of Brahma's acceptance of Lord's command is seen. Brahmaji accepted the task of overseeing generation, aligning with the Supreme Lord's will to bring about fulfillment and divine satisfaction. The divine spirit sees all inner thoughts and guides the outcomes with supreme wisdom. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class.
Dr. Reena Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Pranam. Lord Sri Krishna is present everywhere and understands everyone's heart as he is our Paramatma. He knows all our desires, thoughts, and intentions, and also gives us freedom to desire. But Lord ultimately gives the facility also for those whose desires to be fulfilled. Therefore, spiritual life means not becoming desireless, but purifying our desire and using them for Lord Sri Krishna's service. So the main lesson is to trust Krishna's guidance from within and align our desires with his will. That's the learning, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class. Hare Krishna.
Varsha Mataji. Don't add anything.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the
Vidya
class.
Mataji.
So today's
Varsha-
takeaway for
no,
me was
Varsha- Yes, Mataji.
yeah. So today's takeaway for me mainly was like desires will be there in all the human beings, but we have to redirect it to the proper thing, Prabhuji, and everything else is covered. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Vidya Prabhu Mataji. Don't add anything. Another
ಹರೇ
Vidya
ಕೃಷ್ಣ
Prabhu.
ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲೂ
ಮಾತಾಜಿ.
ಭಗವಂತ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಂದ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
Sudhavadi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank
Hare
you for the
Krishna.
class.
Thank you.
We all humans, we have desires, and God knows that, and that's how a father treats his son or daughter. Like that, Krishna also allows us to have our desires fulfilled. But like how a drunkard, if he wants to drink, a limit amount is given to him. That's how even Krishna does to us. Like if someone is fond of food, then they can still cook the food and offer to Lord Sri Krishna and then have the food in that way. But I think after one point of time, even these desires will vanish once you know what is the truth of life. That detachment comes automatically once we know that our main goal is to reach our Lord Sri Krishna, and all these desires are temporary, not permanent. So then automatically that vairagya comes in, and we will be more attracted towards Sri Krishna, listening to his glories, and we will try our best to reach his abode. That is my takeaway. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sridevi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the clap.
Hare Krishna.
Everybody covered. Thank you for the clap, Prabhuji.
Okay. So tomorrow, those who are in RR Nagar, please possible join us for Mangalarati. Even if you're not able to join Mangalarati, whatever time, but come. We'll have some japa, and 8 o'clock Prabhuji will give a class, and maybe I'll try to put it online. Those who far away can join online. I'll stop here. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Anapra.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
sound is very slow. When
Is
you
that?
talk, sound is very slow. Why it is like that?
I don't know. Now it's okay?
Now
Yes.
okay, Prabhuji.
Maybe. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sai Ram.
Thank you.